Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Imagine gaining the leadership skills that could redefine your career. Join Coach BZ on the Leadership and Success Podcast, where each episode delivers practical insights from world-class speakers, military leaders, and industry experts. We dive deep into what matters most: building resilient teams, leading through uncertainty, and navigating complexity with clarity and confidence. Every conversation is crafted for aspiring leaders like you who are ready to grow, lead, and make a lasting impact. Don't miss our powerful live sessions and recent highlights. Michelle Hayward on building diverse, high-performing technical teams. Ann Leslie on leading through global complexity and cybersecurity risk. Ron Carpenter AI exploring faith, resilience, and AI-powered leadership. Colonel Michelle G.I. Gardner-Ince on commanding influence from the battlefield to the boardroom. Chris Robinson on shifting from drift to drive in life and leadership. And Coach Enrique Acosta Gonzalez on mentorship, legacy, and heart-centered leadership. Ready to level up your leadership journey? Tune in on Spotify, Apple, Audible Podcasts, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. Join the movement toward leadership excellence. Listen now and start transforming your success.
Category on the second segment of our podcast. If you had one day and only one day to live, what would you have liked your final contribution to be?
I would like to bring everybody together. So if there's people who don't feel comfortable to work with other people or to interact with other people, I just want them to realize that we're the sum of all the parts, and we have perhaps more things in common than things that set us apart. And I would like to use that day to set an example how people can work together in harmony.
Okay, if right here and right now was your final conversation with humanity, what leadership truth would you want us to remember?
I want everybody to remember that we're not just a cog in the machine, that we actually have a purpose. I want us to find that purpose. Again, sometimes I hear the phrase, I'm just pressing a button. But then that attitude actually means that what differentiates us from, an AI or a robot, right? If we don't have soul in what we do, and if we don't lead with our heart.
That is quite powerful. I'm now going to show you the song you mentioned, right, by Iggy Pop. In life, I've learned often, however I feel, start in the morning, put on a good face. If you are not in a good mood, fool yourself, don't get down, don't let yourself go down. I believe music is a very, very powerful medium. And I think for most of us, now I am a musician. Are you a musician? Do you play any instrument at all?
Well, I used to play piano and guitar. I haven't played in ages, but I would like to start playing again if I can, because I believe, like you said, music is very powerful. Yeah.
Yes, because I think everybody remembers important times in your life where you were and what you were listening to and what songs or music kind of helped you get through it. So one question I'm going to ask now is, who are you following? Who are the thought leaders that you are listening to?
Yeah, very good question. So I'm actually, like we mentioned, Professor LeBlanc. He has a group called Board Experts. So there's very interesting governance information there. I'm following, for example, I mentioned Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, because he's out there in the media a lot and he's talking about AI. So I mean, I could mention tens of people that I follow, and it's always, like once I follow people on LinkedIn, and then I keep seeing their messages and their advice, and if I like something, I repost. There's a gentleman, Hector Parek, who is in the Canadian government. He posts a lot about AI, and he actually built his own AI tool, and I am inspired by these examples because
Right? So you really have to keep up with the technology, keep up with innovation, and keep up with the pace. No, having said that, you've held leadership roles in Kanza and the ACFE, Ottawa chapter. And by the way, Miriam Mdan from Canada is from Ottawa as well. So there is a huge representation of your folks on LinkedIn Live right now. And for those watching us live on LinkedIn or YouTube, if you have a question for Jan, please type it in the comment. I'm going to make sure he answers it by the end of the program today. So my question for you, Jan, why is community service and association leadership important for public servant?
Well, very good question. I believe that volunteering, it's very important to help the community wherever you are able to volunteer, wherever you're able to donate your time. It helps. There's people who definitely need our help, be it in food bank, which I volunteered in when I used to live in Montreal, or in we used to have volunteering in Ottawa to help the refugees children's learn French. They would go to school and they would need a tutor, and a lot of times they're looking for people who spoke French to help the children. And I would go there and I would work with other lovely persons to help the children to learn. And you would see like the happiness on their face, and the parents would come over and they would be really happy that somebody's able to teach their kids to speak the language and give them a head start in life. um, from the point of view of associations, I was a bit spoiled from the fact that when I was in India, they were expecting us at the High Commission to actually be on at least one or two boards. So they would have these boards that would aim to be sort of auxiliary to what we were doing, but they were actually allowing us to have a different kind of leadership. I was on the Kanza board. So Kanza was the Canadian, Canada, New Zealand, Australia Association, and its purpose was to provide diplomats with duty-free diplomatic goods. But that wasn't just the diplomats; it was also the embassies. So we had like Kanza has a number of embassies that they were actually having as clients, and it was actually a very good experience from the point of view that I was the treasurer and I was able to attend board meetings. I was able to guide the financial decisions of this association, so that was a very good experience. I was also on the board of Club Canada, which was like the embassy's restaurant and pub that the diplomats would use, to decompress and to, have events.
Welcome everyone to our podcast session. Today we'll dive into leadership with integrity and innovation, drawing insights from a discussion with Ion-Mircea Ghinda. It's like a blend of financial acumen, AI purpose, and servant leadership all wrapped in one.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much depth here. Everything from government leadership in times of crisis to using AI to elevate human potential. What really stands out to you?
I'd say the idea of mission before ego really resonates. Ion showed that leadership isn't measured by headlines or corner offices. It's how you handle complexity, a bit like steering a ship in stormy seas. It's about having clarity under pressure and making decisions that serve people first.
Yep, right. And he emphasizes that strategic finance isn't just about managing dollars. Instead, it's a leadership discipline where every dollar is a decision that impacts the mission. I mean, saving over $120,000 in India through lean processes. That's not just accounting, it's leadership in action.
Exactly. And it's a mind shift from seeing dollars as mere numbers to seeing them as part of a broader mission. It reminds us to sharpen our financial literacy as leaders. Budgeting, risk assessments, and ROI become tools of mission readiness.
Yeah. So then, moving into the tech side, Ion's work with AI really sparks interest. His AI-powered language competency evaluation tool isn't designed to replace human capability, but to augment it, to serve a human purpose. What do you think about that approach?
I think it's brilliant. It's like, you're not asking AI to be the boss, but its role is to be the servant, to help people cross the language barrier faster. It's a testimony to using technology ethically.
Right. Though I'd challenge that a bit. Some might argue that relying too much on AI, even as a servant, risks devaluing the human element if not managed carefully. How do you see that balance?
That's a fair point. Ion really emphasizes that the AI is there to support learning, not dominate or replace human input. The goal is to use AI to free up our capacity for empathy and ethical judgment. It's a balance between technology and our core human values.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of core values, the cross-disciplinary wisdom Ion brings from literature, philosophy, and ethics really adds another dimension. It's not just a technical role, it's about understanding morals and history too.
Totally. He's got that Harvard background and a passion for reading Shakespeare and Tolstoy. It highlights that leadership is enriched by perspectives outside the usual scope, like mixing technical prowess with the insights of art and literature.
Absolutely. That cross-disciplinary angle is a reminder that even in high-tech environments, the best decisions often require a bit of moral imagination. It pushes leaders to read broadly and think deeply, just like the coaching insights suggest.
Right, like using literature to sharpen ethical decision-making. And if we think about his idea of think global, lead local, it becomes clear that leadership isn't confined by borders. It's about applying global best practices locally, adapting them to the context you serve.
Yeah. The article also brings up the notion of legacy over likes, focusing on lasting impact rather than fleeting trends. Ion's approach to legacy is about building systems and nurturing others, not chasing immediate recognition.
Yes, and that's where servant leadership shines. It's not the flashy titles that matter, but the substance of your contributions. He advocates for shaping a legacy measured in the positive impact on colleagues, communities, and future generations.
Definitely. I love that he links these leadership values with ethical decision-making, quoting that, "Doing the right thing is often the hardest path, but it's the only one that lasts." It's like integrity becomes the strategic asset in leadership. Yeah.
Exactly. And that ties back to the notion of having a strong leadership ethos from the beginning. Ion encourages defining non-negotiables, auditing decisions, and always prioritizing long-term trust over short-term wins.
It's interesting how these practical takeaways, like writing your leadership ethos, conducting financial risk audits, and mentoring across borders, really provide a roadmap for aspiring leaders, whether they're in military, cybersecurity, or tech sectors.
Yeah, it's like a checklist for success. Each item on his list is actionable, from adopting a learning mindset to championing AI ethics. And the notion of mentoring not just locally, but globally, scales leadership with humility.
Speaking of mentoring, the article also underscores the importance of continuous learning. Ion's journey underscores that you never stop inventing yourself, learning from each experience, financial audits, or even from failing to get that perfect grade. Yeah.
Absolutely, and he reminds us that every failure, every misstep is a lesson to build on. This continuous cycle of learning and self-improvement is so critical in our fast-paced world, especially in the age of AI.
Right. What really sparks my interest is how he balances his technical roles with broader leadership responsibilities, from serving in high-stakes crises to fostering community service. It's quite the spectrum, yeah.
And isn't that the essence of leadership today? It's not just about running operations efficiently or deploying technology effectively, but also about nurturing teams and being a servant leader. Whether that's in government during a crisis or in a tech startup, these principles are
Absolutely.
universal.
I also like how he integrates practical advice, mentoring, reading non-technical books, and creating networks. It's like a guide for those who want to lead with integrity, but also keep pace with rapid innovation, especially with AI evolving every few months. Yeah.
Right. And that's a key takeaway. Balancing legacy with continuous education. It's the idea that today's leadership isn't static. It's dynamic and adaptable. And it's very impressive how he has managed such high-stakes government roles while also contributing to, say, modernizing financial systems.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that's striking is his commitment to ethical service even when it comes at personal or organizational cost. That's a lesson for all leaders. True integrity means doing what's right even when it's difficult. Yep.
Right. And it's like he challenges us to reflect. What will people say about our leadership a decade from now? It pushes us to think beyond immediate results and focus on building cultures that uplift others.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes me wonder too, sometimes in our own fields, do we risk letting the drive for quick results overshadow our long-term ethical commitments? I think Ion's approach gently challenges that mindset, don't you?
Certainly. I mean, it's a respectful challenge to our current practices. Instead of chasing instant success, he urges us to invest in systems and habits that sustain growth and trust in the long run.
Yeah, that's powerful. Absolutely. And on that note, he also emphasizes that legacy is more important than fleeting recognition, legacy that is built on systems, cultures, and mentoring. It really gives a holistic view of leadership. Yeah, indeed.
All these insights reiterate the importance of servant leadership. It's like wearing your heart on your sleeve in every decision you make. The leadership model here is very grounded in humility, ethics, and dedication, an example for every emerging leader out there.
Right. And for those aspiring in the public service or tech sectors, the practical takeaways, like writing your ethos or conducting a financial risk audit, are a roadmap, not just theories. They're actionable steps that you can start, like today. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's also about scaling your influence from local to global, ensuring that what you learn and build in your immediate environment can uplift communities far beyond. It requires staying humble, yet daring to innovate.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, one last thought. Leadership is a journey, and as Ion's experiences show, it's about constantly learning, adapting, and serving with a purpose. That fusion of financial stewardship, AI ethics, and moral philosophy really sets the standard for the future, don't you think?
Definitely. In our fast-paced world where technology and global challenges collide, his message, mission before ego, ethical decision-making, and legacy over likes, serves as a powerful reminder that at the end of the day, leadership is basically about serving others and contributing to a better future. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Take these insights, reflect on them, and lead with both integrity and innovation.
Thanks so much.
That is powerful. Slow down and smell the flowers.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that is great. So, if you could go back and give a piece of advice to your 17, 18, 19-year-old self, standing at the edge of this incredible career you've had, what would you say?
Oh, I would just say take it easy, man. Like, like a lot of times you're thinking like you want to do everything and you feel inadequate because you look at other people who are much more accomplished than you. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that whatever point you are on your journey, you have to look at the benefits too, right? So when you are 18, you probably don't have that many responsibilities. You have a lot of free time. Again, take it easy and enjoy the scenery. Learn, read. Make friends, make connections. Again, don't dwell too much on the things that you don't have because then you get depressed. And I remember I had mentors in my college at Dawson College who were telling me that back then. They were saying, make a list of all the things you've achieved. And I was only 16, 17. And I didn't I still made a list and I achieved a lot by then, and then I felt better, and then I brought a flower to that lady who was my mentor because I said, you are really giving me a powerful lesson. Why am I depressed if I achieved so much, So it's always.
Very powerful. Thank you so much. Okay, now we are toward the end. So what I'm going to ask you really quick is, what is the most rewarding aspect of your life experience so far? Now you are relatively pretty young. We talked earlier. You are about a dozen years or so younger than me, but you are not 17 years old
No,
yet.
I'm in my 30s, like my late 30s, but
Exactly.
yes.
So with the experience you have so far and the leadership opportunity you've had and you've done very well, what is most rewarding for you right now?
So what's most rewarding for me is the journey. I'm actually realizing that when I started at 18, 19, and I was working a few jobs. I was working in a Zeller supermarket and also working in a aged person's residence that had multiple sclerosis. And I remember a lady who, when we were taking the residents for activities outside, and we were at the restaurant and we were enjoying ourselves, and she said, "Remember, in the future." No, she basically said, like, don't let the time pass by, and you're gonna end up like my age, and you're not gonna you're not gonna realize where time passed. So she said, live every moment and be aware of every moment.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.